Hi, Michael Jaff, Roxana Mehran, Mike Gibson coming to you live on day 2 from SCAI, the wrap-up. Roxana, what was hot today?
What wasn't hot today? It was a fantastic
well, the
day
weather
on the
outside
corner.
in San Diego
Well,
wasn't
yeah, it's gloomy here, but not here at SCAI. We had an incredible session this morning on the best of the best clinical trials, which is my favorite session because what we do is we just give the presenters just 5 minutes on the best trials of the year. So we did Matrix, Total, DAPT, and all the TAVR studies, and each of the presenters only had 5 minutes and then followed by a really, really great panel discussion for translation to clinical practice. It was a packed audience. We had a lot of good discussion around bivalvulotin, DAPT, bleeding, thrombus aspiration, all the things you would love to hear about. And then we moved right into the late breakers, and the late breakers actually, as you know, there have been I thought everyone was going to leave after the best of the best because it was so good, and then it was packed again, and we had a fantastic 3 really nice late breakers. I got to present one, but there was one on orbital atherectomy.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the ticagrelor study versus clopidogrel, a pharmacodynamic study, but a very important one given what we're looking at. Nobody has ever done an ad hoc PCI-PD study with ticagrelor and clopidogrel, so really important. And then lastly, we had this incredible Japanese study with a standard of care and aggressive care of reduction of blood pressure control and LDL, and they showed regression no matter what you did. If you actually got a significant reduction in your LDL and blood pressure, whether it was a standard of care or really aggressive, plaque regression by IVUS was seen. So those were all really great trials. So really a great day so far.
Great. Mike, what did you think was hot?
So I think for the first time at SCAI, the session on pulmonary emboli was standing room only.
Really?
No, I'm not kidding.
Well, no one wants to sit because, it should be
Of course,
respectful.
that's right. That's exactly right. So that's why people kept doing this in the room.
Were they flexing their toes?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So great discussions kind of on the background of PE, but now a whole discussion on what can the interventional cardiologist do for these patients with very sick, submassive, and massive pulmonary emboli with vortex thrombus aspiration to catheter-directed lysis, now bedside ECMO to tide people over. I mean, really awesome. And then there was a fantastic case discussion and presentation where we actually asked the audience to participate. And just like we know, the literature is so unclear about PE that the audience was all over the board. Really great discussion. And then a really solid discussion about kind of all the advances in PAD interventions. Now with 2 drug-coated balloons on the market, Boston Scientific's big data last week from their drug-eluting stent study, there's a lot going on in PAD as well.
I talked to Kenny Rosenthal this morning about the PERT program at the Mass General, getting people organized to respond to pulmonary embolism. We have STEMI teams, but now you have a pulmonary embolism team at Mass General, and that sounded like an amazing program.
Exciting.
Yeah.
So it's a very cool thing, and really the basis for that, guys, was that at our place, like I suspected both your places, it's complicated to activate an emergency system. And so if you think about the internist or the resident on the floor who suddenly has a sick patient with a PE, who do you call? If you make the wrong call, everything goes downhill.
Right.
So now we have this one number, everybody gets involved right away, we make a decision jointly, and we can activate whatever triage system they need to go to. So it's been good, yeah.
Then there was the quality track that had all of AUC and what to do with AUC, and that was incredible, how to incorporate it into the cath lab workflow and how to take control of it before it controls you and others begin to define you so you could define it. And it was just a fantastic session with Herb Arnau and his team. And then on the structural side, there was coverage on the mitral side, which is, I think, up and coming. There are so many new mitral devices, and I just think the plethora of science, clinical cases, great presentations, and I just came from a noon symposium that was a Women in Innovation symposium on complex PCI, and these incredible young women presented really, really difficult cases And it was a fantastic session, except that Paul Tierstein fell off the stage, and he might have injured his shoulder. So always take care of the stage wherever you are when you are on these stages. So,
Holy cow.
Yeah, but otherwise everything has just been fantastic.
We don't want to see Paul get injured. He's leading our anti-MOC efforts.
Exactly, we need Paul in
Paul.
very good. Paul,
Yeah.
get well, Paul.
Get him some,
Yeah.
a helmet or something.
That's
next
right,
time, yeah.
that's right.
Well, anything tomorrow? What's going to be hot on day
Tomorrow
3?
we have the big Hildner lecture. Bob
Yes,
Harrington
Bob
will
Harrington's
be here,
gonna be
and
here.
he's addressing the audience right after our new president takes over, which is Jim Blankenship.
Yeah.
And then we have incredible late breakers as well. So on the coronary side, we're going to be a jam-packed day. 3 excellent late breakers: the Prometheus, the triage study, and then this really interesting study of salastazole for bridging in fresh DES patients who have to go to surgery. That
Right.
was just really, really interesting, and I'm sure you're covering that
Right.
on the TV. So the coronary track will be packed. I know that on the structural side, we're moving to the left atrial appendage, and certainly that's going to be a jam-packed session. And then
And on the vascular
peripheral
side,
vascular-
big deal tomorrow, critical limb ischemia. So that's going to be deeply investigated tomorrow with some great sessions. And then we're actually doing a series of disaster case presentations
that's
with
the
the
best.
Viva group. So Viva's coming to SCAI for the first time and actually going to have a really exciting interactive session on cases that went badly.
Is the red eye thing tomorrow night?
Well, that's
The red eye session.
Yeah.
That's called the red eye session.
What's the red eye session?
So, for the poor souls that have to take the red eye tomorrow night home.
There are some
that's,
people who are
that's
taking
me,
the red
I
eye,
think, yes,
but
yeah.
I say to everybody, stay till Saturday. Don't
Yes.
get your eyes
Exactly,
red.
that's
and
right.
because we've got Saturday is a whole day
That's
of
right.
hands-on devices and training
Yes.
sessions, and it's going to be fantastic. So
Yeah.
still ways to go to finish, but it's been a great meeting
Well,
so far.
congratulations on day 2.
Thank you.
Look forward to day 3. And thanks to all of you for joining us here live from SCAI 2015.